over welding for sheet metal. We're going to get your gas, what kind to use, what size of wire is the best, what speed, what voltage you want to be at, and pretty much just hit all the basics of what to do and what not to do. Alright, let's get started. So today I'm using a 187 Hobart. It's got a dual polarity, so I can use different types of material, aluminum, stainless. It's got a higher voltage, so I have a better control on the material. So on every welder, on the inner side door of your wire house should be a welding guide. It'll give you your different types of material, your steel, stainless, your aluminum, your wire and polarity settings, gas, diameter wire, thickness of metal. Just pretty much helps you out, gets you at a good start where you need to be for your welding. So today we're using just standard steel solid wire, so you're going to want to use a 75-25 mixture. And for the diameter wires, try to be an 024 or 030. I believe 035 is too thick for this material. It's already a thinned out type of steel, so you don't want to put too much against it. Now for today I'm using 030. It's just right in the middle. Gives me better control, I think. I don't have to put as much on compared to the 024. So most of this is about a 1920 gauge, and what it says here is a 140. Now I don't use 140. I don't really know anybody that does, so I like to keep it around 250. That's always worked the best for me. And so you might not be exactly on the 50, you might go up and down a little bit. Just find where you get the best penetration, the best sound of weld. Alright, now we're on to our gas setting. So here's your gauges. This one's your argon. This is pretty much how much you got left in your tank. For your argon, you're going to want to keep it around 15. It's the best for sheet metal like this, nice and thin. It's just the right amount. Gives you a great weld. Sometimes you might have to go up and down depending. Once you get it all dialed in, you'll figure it out. So I turned it down to kind of show you how to mess around and get to where you need to go. Alright, let's turn it on. Alright, so we're about at 11, so you're just going to want to turn it up a little bit. Let's see where we're at now. About 14. Let's turn up a little bit more. Almost at that 15, just a tad bit. Perfect. Right, exactly where we need to be. Now that just gives you the perfect amount of gas to help melt your weld. You might go up and down a little bit like I said, but I'd suggest try to keep in there and mess with your other settings first, because you don't want to waste a lot of gas, because you don't want to blow through it and then have to go get more. Alright, now let's get to testing. So I'm going to show you how to weld straight on. A layover piece is something with a tab, just weld right onto it, and then a butt. You want to check all three different types when you go into welding sheet metal like this, just so you get the best type of weld, best penetration one that's just going to last the longest. Alright, we're going to start with straight on, go on, so forth. Alright, let's get started. we're pretty much done. I went through, showed you how to do a straight on, a layover piece, and then a butt weld. Now, I did have to fiddle with the settings. You may not notice it, but I did a little bit. So when I was doing the straight on, you can see at the beginning it was welding okay, but it wasn't welding the best. I was getting a lot of smack, wasn't getting a good sizzle, because you really want it to sound like bacon sizzling. Some good breakfast here. And so after about the second pass, I turned it up a little bit. It went up to about 53, just a tiny bit, wasn't down, not too much. And I got a lot better weld out of it. You can hear the difference and see the difference when I started welding the other two strips. Now with the layover piece, that went pretty well. I didn't have to move my settings at all. I did have to kind of do it by blind eye because I was trying to do it so you can see me pull away with the gun. But yeah, that came out nice. And then with the butt welding, now the way the wire feed was set up is it wasn't doing its job. I was getting too much blow through, wasn't getting good penetration with it. So after about a couple times going back and forth, figuring it out, I turned down my wire feed a little bit. It went down to about 46, 47 on my Hobart, and I started getting a really good weld out of it. My penetration was amazing, everything was doing great. And so yeah, well, I'll show you here in a second what these came out to look like, and if you have any questions, comments on just before any of this, let me know. Alright, let's look at this. So this is the straight on I started with. These two are the first ones, and then these are the second after I fiddled around with it. So they're different width and height. So I decided to turn up my wire feed a little bit, went from 50 to 53, now just a tiny bit, and they started rolling over really nicely. And the penetration was good, the width and the height are all the same. So yeah, just up a little bit and I got the right weld. Now it worked out great for my layover piece. The beginning was a little hazy, but that's because I didn't have a clean tip, so it smacked on it first. But after the clean tip went, everything started laying over really good. The penetration was amazing. Now on to the butt welding. My setting didn't work out great. You know, I started having blow through, my weld started looking like crap. The reason for that is because you're trying to bridge a gap, and if you don't have brass behind that to wash your weld back and forth for you, you're going to end up getting blow through or nasty looking welds. Now I turned it down a little bit more, so it went down to about 47, 46, and then they started rolling over really nicely with each other. The height's all the same, the width's all great, and the penetration was just amazing. Now that's it for welding onto thin sheet metal. So if you got any questions or any comments, or if you want to show me the way that you do it, let me know. I love learning new stuff, different little tips and tricks and ways. If you guys want to see a video, something you're stuck on, something that you've always wanted to see, let me know. Kind of starting off on this, so I need some good ideas. I'm just going on what I wanted to learn in the beginning and what should be taught. Alright, so yeah, let me know. Thanks for watching.